Don't worry, you're not going to be asked to sing along to this, so. And I'm not going to be singing either. So earlier this week, we received the sad news that Hollywood actress Doris Day passed away, and she was famous for singing this song, Que Sera Sera, where at different points in her life, she wonders if she'll be pretty, or if she'll be rich, or if they'll have rainbows day after day. But the chorus responds to her questions with the simple statement that whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. Now, regardless of that dismissive response, many of us would actually be quite keen to know our future and learn more about where we are going in life. The future represents that great uncertainty, a melting pot of optimism and pessimism, where our wildest dreams and deepest fears can become a reality. So what if there was a way to know your future based on a few bits of basic information now? And even once you found out what your future entails, how would you feel if you knew that you couldn't do anything to change it, no matter what you did? Well, for poor people living in Britain today, we have a very good idea of just how their life will pan out. Because the answer to the question of where you are going lies in where you have come from. In this country, your socioeconomic background plays a significant role in what opportunities you are able to access and how you are able to participate in society. So we're going to look at 4 key points in life and see how if you're born poor in the UK, you will lead a very different life than if you're born in more privileged circumstances. So birth, always good to start at the beginning. The very fact that you lived through birth and have made it this far shows that you're one of the lucky ones. In the UK, children from low-income families are 2.5 times more likely to die before they reach adulthood than children born into richer families. And children born in the poorest areas of the UK weigh, on average, ½ pound less than those born in the richest areas. So when you see that the opening words of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are, "All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights," you just know that really doesn't hold up in reality. So education. When you get to school, it feels like everyone's on a level playing field. After all, everyone has the same number of hours at school, all schools fall under the authority of the same government department, and you're being taught the same curriculum, so no one should really be at an advantage, right? But children from poorer backgrounds lag behind at all stages of education. By the age of 3, poorer children are estimated to be 9 months behind children from more wealthy backgrounds. By the end of primary school, they are estimated to be 3 terms behind their more affluent classmates. By the age of 14, the gap has reached 5 terms. Just think about what that means when you have a poor kid and a wealthy kid taking the same GCSE exams soon after. Now, work. So once you make it through school and maybe go to university, you then have to get a job and start working. And it sounds great because when you apply for a job, you're being assessed on your skills and talent alone, and your background shouldn't play a role in it. Unfortunately, work doesn't quite work like that. If you're from a working class background, you will earn 24% less than someone from a professional background. Now, to be fair, there's some logic to that because of the types of jobs that people from working class backgrounds end up in. But even when people from working class backgrounds start work in a professional occupation, they earn on average 17% less than more privileged colleagues. And you face a double disadvantage if you're a woman from a working class background, because you will be paid a whopping 35% less than men from more affluent backgrounds, even when you both work in a professional occupation. Death. This, along with taxes, is the only certainty in life. And the reality is that we don't know when it might be our time. Or do we? Recent research has found that there is a life expectancy gap of 10 years between the poorest and the richest in society. Another way to think about that is a poorer grandparent will miss out on seeing their grandchild grow up over 10 years. Now, all of these examples of stark inequality show that there is something very wrong with this country. But having heard all of this, there might be a voice in the back of your mind with two very compelling, or what may appear to be very compelling counter-arguments. The first is that Britain is a meritocracy, and this country is full of rags to riches stories, so people can rise above their station, and it doesn't matter what your background is. But the idea that Britain is a meritocracy is a myth. The government's own Social Mobility Commission released a report last month that stated, inequality is entrenched from birth to work. Now, it's true there have been some stories of people that started at the bottom and made it to the top, but these are the exceptions that prove the rule, and they're more common in Disney movies now. And as Karl Marx wrote, men make their own history, but they do not make it as they please. They do not make it under self-selected circumstances, but under circumstances existing already, given, and transmitted from the past. And the second counter-argument that might be in the back of your mind is that because I've been contrasting the circumstances of people born into poor and rich backgrounds, it might feel like I've been criticizing someone for having wealthy parents, which is something they have no control over. But actually, the main issue here is the inequality. If society can allow a certain group of people to prosper, then we should all be allowed to prosper. It's outrageous that we've got to a situation where it doesn't feel like there's anything wrong with poor kids lagging behind at school or poor people dying early. Some humans think it's natural to have a divide between the poor and rich, but they are the ones who have lost their human nature. And to end, we have seen how for a significant number of people in society, their future has already been written. Now the question is, what can you do to work towards creating a society where no matter what your background, you genuinely have the same opportunities as everyone else? Thank you for your time.